Well, here we are, folks, for another unscheduled match in this year's VP4 US Open. And this is a winner's side match, a round 3 match. Let's just double check. And it is between Bedhead and Rivercity, race to 16. Just scheduled a few minutes ago. And Bedhead, without a doubt, is the favourite for this. Just get rid of stub. Anyway, hopefully he'll quieten down. Yeah, Bedhead, I've seen him in quite a few Friday night 9-ball tournaments, and when he gets his act together, he's really strong. Rivercity is going to have to work to get a result in this match. In fact, that's a good idea. That's an excellent idea. Why did I not think of that myself? Is he still in? Just ignore him and that will shut him up. We won't have him in the chat. Right, now down to business. So the mistake has been made. Scratch by Bedhead, ball in hand for Rivercity, and the difference in this match is, compared to the one lost side match we've just watched, is that Rivercity is more than capable of taking these sort of chances. Well, he's gone fairly straight, but he can go through. Yeah, back up by the middle pocket will do. So Rivercity was given the opportunity, ball in hand, and takes it out, and he wins the first rack. But he's come up dry. Now this is where you look for a 2,400 rated player with an open table to manoeuvre himself around this table and clear the rack. Because it's only going to be an unforced error that's going to prevent him from doing it. Just dead weight on the 1, and he's found a gap with the cue stick between the 8 and the 9, I think. That's a bonus. As long as he doesn't hit the 4 when he's coming up the table, because the left hand side is the side he's going to come up, unless he plays a lot of inside English, and that makes the shot more difficult. Yeah, he's hit the 4, but he can see enough of the 3 to cut it onto the 6. So he's out of shape here. He just needs to get the bottom end of this table tidied up and get on the 4. Played that with a lot of drag to try and kill the pace in the cue ball, and he's done it. And now he's got the little angle just to drop across with the correct weight to get on that 4, so he can just roll through for the 5. using the 2 rails, and that will do nicely. So the problem, we can see where that lies, but it should be easy enough to resolve. Oh dear, well, an unexpected miss, but that's what we mentioned. Unforced errors are what's undoing Bedhead at the moment. Now, Rivercity has a choice. He's got a bank. It's not a great bank on this 4, but he's also got a good opportunity for a decent safety if he went thin off the 4. I don't like this as a bank at all. Yep, he's just left it open. He'd have been much better thinning off the left hand side of that 4, because there's a great opportunity just to go there, off there and down here and leave the ball blocked off with the 8 and 9 there, but he's given Bedhead his invitation. And this is what I say about taking risks, and particularly when you are against, on paper, the much stronger player. You have to get wise, and the safety, I think, would have been a better choice there. It was not a good bank. Instinct told me that I didn't like the look of that 4 ball for a bank, and I would have played the safety, especially with no jump cues. There's no way he was going to get to that 4 if you got good cover. But now Bedhead got the nice angle in the 7, and he's gone a wee bit more than he would like, and he needs to get a nice kiss on this 9, because he can't avoid a 9, and this could go wrong. Well, it's going to be a thin cut. Well off the rail, so he should get it. Well, I think that's one that's possibly got away there for Rivercity. Got to play the safety at the right time. And Bedhead has certainly got a couple of balls in the break. Yep, the 3, the 8 have gone. He's sitting on the 1. Got a nice angle in the 1. Anywhere over on the left hand side of the table, he'll be on the 2, but he's got to take care of that 4-7 combo. Now, he played that with inside English as well to check it off the rail and straighten up the cue ball rather than letting it run over towards that left middle pocket. But he's actually in a better position to get himself as straight as he can on this 4-7 combo. And that's about as good as he could expect there. Maybe he's slightly hampered. No, he's okay. But this has to be played dead weight, I think. He doesn't want to let that 4 ball run away once it collides with the 7. And it's ran away. That's where it goes wrong. Always the likelihood with the slight angle on that combo that the 4 was going to escape. He couldn't hold it. So now Bedhead's got the dilemma. It's certainly not a bank up to the 6. He's going to try and thin this along the rail. Yeah, that was asking far too much. So straight away, Rivercity can redeem himself. He's getting a chance that he possibly wasn't expecting. And he's got a big, huge area to move the cue ball into to get on the 5, so it shouldn't be a problem. Oh dear, dear, dear. Now that was bad. Maybe a bit too keen, and that was a poor mistake there. Let's have a look at what he's got away with, if anything. Well, it's not even a good billiard because the 4's too close to the 5. Yeah. Now what do you do? Well, I can see a safety shot here by thinning off the 4. Let me just get up here if I can get the damn thing to work. Hang on. Well, that was, he played it in a different way, but didn't get the cover. The 4 ball ran too much. Well, we won't get to see my idea now. But it's another one that's going to get away from Rivercity. He's had his chances here early on. Even at this early stage, these could be crucial racks that he's not winning. He could easily be sitting here 3-0 right now. No doubt about it. So the 6 balls deep in the corner pocket, always one of the toughest shots to control it. So he just cut his losses. I'm going to leave it across into the middle, and it should be 2-1 to Bedhead. Well, how is that going to affect the outcome of the match late on? Rivercity might live to regret those mistakes. And these breaks come up dry. Not an easy one. The 2's dead set as a combo in the 5. But the safety, well, I think he tried to roll in behind the 7. The 3 ball. Well, we might have a disconnection here. I think Rivercity's lost his connection. We don't see his cue stick. Oh, there we go. It's recovered. Well, the safety is definitely not cutting the 1 ball that way. I think that will pass the 6. But if you were trying to play a safety by cutting the 1 that way, you're going to leave it exposed. And he's played that well. That was well judged. A good control of pace. And almost it went wrong there. Still got the pot. Is it going to get to the pocket? No, it's hung up. Well, this is already it's deja vu. It's heading in the wrong direction here for Rivercity. He's had these chances, and he might well live to regret them. Well, if there's going to be a problem ball, the only one could possibly be the 9. But even so, I still expect Bedhead to tuck this rack away. Well, Bedhead has a choice. He can go that way and get over here for the 9, or he can actually go that way. It's up to him. He's left himself big distance and a high angle. But the 9 is off the rail, and that makes it easier to judge the cut on the 9. Well, we could be sitting looking at a 4-0 scoreline to Rivercity right now. But it's turned out it's 3-1 to Bedhead. And that's a 2-rack gap already early on in the match. And Rivercity is going to have to get his act together fairly quickly. Went for the kick in the one and scratched. And ball in hand, Bedhead, you feel is only going to get stronger. And Bedhead's certainly a contender for this tournament. More than a match for any of the players in the event. Well, here's the first problem. Getting on that 3. He can get on it into that top left. It needs a delicately controlled shot. Played it with a bit of spin. And that will do. And the 6 ball will help him here, because he'll brush off the 6. Needs to be careful though he doesn't hook himself behind the 6. So he needs to go through. Well, he's actually avoided the 6. That's even better. Well, he should have a good angle. When he pots this 7, he's probably just, he could just possibly kill the cue ball right there and just come back off the 8. A little stun down the left hand rail for the 9 into the top right. Well, he's come back a bit more, so he might go across the table twice here. No, he's played the stunt. So, Bedhead widens the gap and it goes to 4-1. And it could be oh so different. And Rivercity taking those chances. So we're into rack number 6. Alternate break, remember. And Rivercity breaking off. Needs something to happen quickly, I feel, to hang on to the coattails of Bedhead. So the push out's been called. Now that's left a very difficult tempter on the 1, but there's no point in taking it because you've no chance of getting in the 2. So we're looking for a good safety response here from Rivercity. And he's got good cover up that end of the table. Well, where's the cue ball going though? Well, it's going from bad to worse. A poorly played safety. And ball in hand again for Bedhead. And it looks pretty much like it's going to be the same outcome. The 2 ball easily goes past the 7. And the 3 ball is certainly going to be played at distance. The 4 does go past the 5. It's tightish, but it does go. And it certainly won't go into the same pocket as a 3 because the 9's a blocker. there's still a wee bit of work to get done here. Played that with a lot of left-hand inside English to avoid the 9 going the right-hand side, sorry, the cue ball going the other side of the 9. Came inside the 9 and left himself as best as he can on this 4. And he squeezes it in. Good angle to just drop behind the 6 into the right middle. Well, he's come back, decided to take it into the corner, but it's 6.5 a dozen. Either way, he's easily on the 7. Well, the pattern of this match has been exactly the same the last 2 racks. Rivercity scratched. It's gone ball in hand to Bedhead. And Bedhead has done exactly what you expect of a player of this standard. He's going to run the table. And Rivercity's he's the only one that's going to be able to help himself here. He's going to have to get a chance and take it to stem the flow here and cut out the mistakes. So here's the opportunity, albeit an uncertain one because that 6 ball's tied up with the 8 on the right hand side. Well, I don't know whether it was possibly worth trying to run into that 6 and 8 there, because he would have been on the 3. He'd have been really unlucky not to be on the 3. That was an opportunity to actually maybe move those 2 balls. And, well, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder now, considering where he's playing the 5 ball from. Now, can he see enough of that 6 to pot it? I think he can. He's got to get more or less in line, but that looks very dicey. Is he going to try and hook him behind the 8? Oh, he's managed to squeeze it in. So he didn't have to move them. I should have had a closer look at that. And this is running a bit more than you would like. He's got to get this cue ball up the table, and he hasn't. He did nothing with it. Oh, this is tough. 5-1 down. And he's played it well. I had to work for that one. That was well done. So it's back to 3. Bedhead leading by 5 racks to 2. He breaks off, Rivercity breaks off in rack number 8. Has come up dry. Let's have a look at the 5 ball. No problem with the 5, it goes. It's more likely going to be a 4-7 combo at the top end there. The only slight worry is that 9 ball when trying to, if he's going to try and get onto this combo. It's got to be a good, he's finished dead straight in the 3, I think. He's really going to have to work here, and his likelihood of getting this combo have diminished by finishing dead straight in the 3. He's playing this with bottom and left English to push the cue ball right. Now how's his luck? Oh, that is excellent. Not only has he got rid of the 7 ball, he's finished pretty nigh perfect in the 4. Can drop the 4 in, get out past the 9 ball, and he's on the 5. He couldn't have played that any better. And probably just brush on to the 8 here when he pots this 5 and leave the 6 long. He's managed to miss that as well, and he's still rolled through, got the slight angle. Well, this is looking sweet, this rack. Maybe a wee bit lucky to have nudged onto the 7 and potted it and finish on the 4, but you make your own luck. And it's 6-2, and that was a healthy response from Bedhead after losing that last rack. And he's breaking in rack number 9. And immediately Bedhead has given Rivercity a chance. It is a chance, and there's a window between the 3 and the 9. Or in this case, the 6 and the 9, but has he got there? No, he hasn't. Well, he's got to avoid hitting the 4. Anything but hitting the 4. And thin cut that 2 to the rail and get it over beyond the 7 and try and get the cue ball distant from it. Well, he's tried that, but he's brought the 2 out. Well, that was a handy little nudge on the jaw. Now, what does he do? Does he try and stun between the, or spin between the 6 and 9? It looks a bit awkward to do that. The natural shot he would want to play would be to drop on the right hand side of the 4, but the 7's the blocker, so you'd have to play the combo from that side. Well, that's what it's going to be. Let's have a look. Well, there's a problem here straight away, because the cut that he has to make on that 7 means that 4 ball wants to go that way. And he's played it just enough weight to hold it. Still not done and dusted, this rack yet. Another little delicate controlled shot to get on the 6. And he's played that fairly well. It's going to be a reasonably long 8 ball, but should have no problem getting in the 9. And this all came about, Rivercity just couldn't see enough of the 4 ball. Had the right idea with the safety, but got the 4 ball too heavy and brought it out into play. And the rest is history. It's now 7-2 to Bedhead. Rivercity has broken off in rack number 10. And the 6 ball has gone. What does that look like from his point of view? Well, he's managed to cut it in, but no shot in the 2. In fact, he's just put himself in deep trouble. And he's got the hit. And he's got it safe. Well, there's a little bit of good fortune. Caught the edge of the two. And Bedhead is just going to bend it around. Well, if it keeps running, it's safe, and it pretty well is. Well, if he cut the two, he's went for the pot, he's gone all out for it. Well, he's got to back that up now. Again, he had another chance for a safety there, but he's made his mind up. Now, they say sometimes the best form of defence is attack. Well, that's all very well in theory, but as I say, you've got to back it up. Went for the difficult pot, got it, and he's finished dead straight in the 5, so it's a big draw. Well, he tried to stun the cue ball out. I think he can still pot it, but he's giving himself problems now. Oh dear. Well, it's backfired. He's missed a 7. Well, this is just a formality. Just stop the cue ball right there where the 8 ball is, or drop back, whatever he wants to do, and he's on the 9 for 8-2. Well, if Rivercity looks back on this match already, and we've just gotten to the halfway point, he can see how and count how many racks that on any other day he could have taken, and the scoreboard would have looked entirely different right now. So Bedhead has broken off in rack number 11. The 3 ball has gone. He's got a cut on the 1. He's going to have no shot in the 2, and the 8 and the 9 are tied up right in that middle diamond in the top end of the table. So you would think he's going to just try and tuck the 2 ball along towards the 8 and 9 and get distance. Get the cue ball down the bottom end of the table. It looks as if he's punching the 2 around the table. Well, he's went for the hook behind the 5, and that was very well played indeed. And 8-2 down. Stuck behind the 5 ball. Well, you don't want to do anything where you start balls rolling around to split the 8 and 9. That is the only lifeline that Rivercity has right now. Well, I'm back, folks, but I had a complete loss of power there. Everything just died. But we're still in the same rack. The 8 and 9 have been split. Bedhead's trying to get it safe. But it's a chance now for Rivercity. Just roll the 8 ball in. The cue ball's going to do the rest. He just needs to control the pace. And he's overdone it. He has overdone it, and he's put it in the worst place you want to be putting it for one of these 9 balls. He's just stacking the pressure on himself, and that's what happens. Once again, it has to be said, for a 2,100 rated player, that was a poor shot. That's just digging an even bigger hole for himself. You've got to watch the pace in those shots so that you don't run too far. And he had a big margin of error there. So it's now 9-2. Rivercity breaking off in rack number 12. And look where the cue ball's finished. Stuck right behind the 3. No shot in the 1. And looking for the push out. Or a kick, possibly. Has it called a push out? I mean, if everything had gone early on, and in the most recent racks, if everything had gone different, this match could be sitting all square at the moment. At worst, for Rivercity, it's the 9-2 scoreline does not show anything in terms of what chances Rivercity's had to get racks on the board. And well, that last shot he played there was only ever going to lead to trouble. And having said that, Bedhead has got away with one. Rivercity might try the billiard onto the 7. The danger though is that he's going to double kiss the 4. That's really the only shot he's got here. Well, he's actually double kissed the 4. I don't know whether he tried the billiard, but neither's worked out. Rivercity must be sitting there kicking himself. I mean, it's the same as in real life. If you come up against somebody that's really good and you know they're good, if that starts playing in your mind and that's all you're thinking about all the time and not thinking about what you should actually be doing on the table, then it's just a recipe for disaster. You've got to get your mind on what's in front of you on the table rather than who's in the other end. That might be playing a part in it. Never be scared by numbers. Numbers are only there as part of this game. It's what you do yourself that counts when it matters. So it's another opportunity for Bedhead to get to double figures. And he's at a point now where he's under no pressure. He's got a big lead. He'll be quite content to just let things take their course. But once again, he's missed that shot now. You could say that's careless, but at the same time, when you see what the player was trying to do, he had a lot of inside English on the cue ball. So he's already set the cue ball offline towards the 5. That makes the shot much more difficult. That's why he sent the 5 to the jaws. But left absolutely nothing for Rivercity. Forced into trying an elaborate cut along the rail at distance. And he's hung up the 5. And as long as Bedhead avoids a 9, which he's going to do with lots of inside English again, that keeps the ball straight off the rail. And now he's sitting perfect. Can punch the 6 in. Well, he can squeeze a little bit of angle in that pot. He's not even taking that risk. Quite content to leave it at distance. So the cue ball is either going to go back off the 7 or go forward off the 7 onto that end rail and out and across to the right. So it's now 10-2 to Bedhead. And Rivercity's got a mountain to climb, and it's gotten even bigger because in goes the 9-ball off the break. And that's a golden break, the first one in the match. And it's 11-2. Well, that's one thing I've never done in 9-ball is apologise for potting the 9. That's all part of the game. That's the object of the game. Get rid of that 9-ball as quick as you can. You can't get any quicker than if you pot it off the break. Well, I think Rivercity, he's saying he's playing like shit. Well, that's one way to look at it, but the other way is that if you just took your chances, this hole has been more or less dug by himself. Bedhead hasn't had to work an awful lot to get these racks. Once he's given that chance, it's like riding a bike. You just get ball in hand, all the balls are there in the open, he just marches his way around the table and sinks them in holes. It's all too easy when they're players at 2,300, 2,400 rating. It's to be expected. We're talking about like a professional standard in real life. That's what a pro would do if you give them ball in hand in a 9-ball table, and that's what you'd expect of these guys in this tournament. So, can you see enough of the 2? Yes, he can, but he's pretty straight, but he can, well, quite content to leave it at distance. Just drop it in, a little bounce off the rail, and he's on the 4. Not taking any risks. Oh, that might scratch. A bit too much spin on it. Oh, he's held up in the jaws. Well, he's got away with one there. And how's the angle on the 5? Well, once again, it's perfect. Choice of 2 ways to go with this shot. You go forward and out that way. I'll get my little lines working better than that. That's ugly. Or you put a bit of bottom and left and come out this way. So he's come out that way. And he can just punch off the bottom rail over to the left hand side a little bit for the 9. Once again, he's put a good bit of left hand English on the cue ball just to check it back. So now we're at 12-2. And Bedhead's break in rack number 15 is dry. Rivercity straight away has a problem. Potting the 1's fine. Getting onto the 2 was going to be the challenge. Well, he actually finished a little nudge in the 2 and got perfect on it, but he's missed a 1. Bedhead hasn't quite got there. Now this is no 100% guarantee here. He's got to hit something. Well, he'll take that. He's cleared away the mess at the pocket and he's left a 3 long and doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball other than concentrating the 3 down the rail. He'll have a shot in the 4. but needs that little angle in the 4 so we can get the cue ball out and down for this 5. Now he won't even be doing that, he's just going to run across past the 9, leave it long. Well, this is just a little testy one, and it goes clean. So it's all about from the 8 or the 7 to the 8. Bedhead's usually a good judge of pace with these type of shots, but he's under hit that by a fair margin. So it's a little cut. Probably 2 rails. And nicely on the 9. So it's now a mountain, and it's growing even bigger that Rivercity is going to have to climb. It's going to have to be some sort of minor miracle for the pattern of this match to change. It's 13-2. And Bedhead is only 3 away from round number 4. We'll have a look at the bracket once this match is over and just study what sort of lineup he's destined to play, because pretty much certain that it's going to be a tougher match in the next round. So Rivercity has broken off. Once again it's dry. Well, the bad news is Bedhead staring down the 1 ball. Now what's this looking like up here? Because, well, I think that's too tight. I thought there was a possibility of a 2-9 if he could get the cue ball down there, but the 6 is blocking the pocket. He's an easy enough safety shot here. Just kill the cue ball, get the 2 ball up the table or down the table from our end that we're watching. Is there enough of that showing? Rivercity using a couple of rails and more there to get to the 2, but didn't reach it. So here we go again. It isn't quite as simple a run out this because of the slight mess at the top end of the table. Well, that's taking care of the 6 ball problem. So 3 back over to this 4. It's well judged, and what's more, he's going to be sitting there with a nice angle again on the 4. Now how does the 5 look? Well, the pocket's open, so just stop the cue ball if you can. And the 7 goes past the 9 anyway, so it isn't a problem, and he's got the angle on the 5 to drop behind it. it's now 14-2. Well, if the pattern continues and the result turns out like we think it's going to do, the one saving grace is that Rivercity is going to be one of the stronger players on the one-loss side, so he's still got a second bite at the cherry. But the bad news for him is that, as I said earlier, there's actually 2 or 3 good players on that one-loss side already, and it's not going to be an easy path either way. But in Rivercity's case, he's going to be fighting to stay in the tournament. I mean, potting the 2 was the one thing. Getting any position in the 3 was nigh on impossible. The angle he had. So just a good safety, I would expect. And that would qualify as a pretty good safety. The tiny edge that Rivercity can see, if he brushed it, he's going to scratch. He's now spinning around the 7. Oh, he's got too much on it. So here we go. What does Bedhead do with this ball in hand? It's not easy with the 8 ball being there to try and get into the 4 and 5 to open them up. So it's a bit of a quandary he's got here. Pot the 4 and play a safety, that would be fairly simple to do, but he's trying to manufacture something to move something here. And that will do nicely. That is perfect. Got the 4 into the middle. The 5 very adjacent in that top right hand corner. So it looks like we're just completing the formalities of this match. A very strong lead for Bedhead. It's ending up a much bigger gap than I ever thought it would be. And if you'd seen any of the earlier part of the match, it should never be like this. But that's what ifs and buts are. If he did this, if he did that, and if he'd thought of something else. But, well, there's a strange one. One of very few misses from Bedhead, but it's a chance for Rivercity. And he's got it too thin. And it just ain't working for him today. Maybe another day. And Bedhead tidying up. And it's now 15-2. Just needing one more to get through to round 4. And Rivercity breaking off in rack number 18. Nothing's gone, but the one's almost stuck itself to the cue ball. Not a lot of options here for Bedhead. Well, that double kiss has actually helped him. It stopped a cue ball behind the 6, and the 1 ball's gone safe the other side. And this could be Rivercity's last shot of the match. If he doesn't get this kick, and he doesn't get it safe, it'll be ball in hand for the run out. Well, 1 and 2 are straightforward enough. He could come down past the 9 on the right hand side for the 3 into the left middle, or he could just come back out off the 2 and leave the 3 on to the 4, which is what he's going to do. And another little gentle shot, just nudge the 3 onto the 4 and leave the 3 where the 4 is. Well, that's even better because he's now got the all-important angle to bring the cue ball out behind the 6 with a little spin. So this is going to be the decider, getting on to the 7. Well, he's gone too far, I think. Almost. He's sitting beyond the square. So he's got a nasty little cut back. No problem. Well, he can just dig into the cue ball, little stun up to the right, and this match is over. So Bedhead wins the match, a round 3 match, by 16 racks to 2, and Rivercity is going to have to battle on in the 1 loss side with a bit of a lag there before that come up on the screen. Right, so the brackets hopefully will update if I can get to the brackets. I'll just click that, hang on. Right, so this is the important side of the tournament on the right hand side. This is the winner's side, and that match that we've just watched with that interruption in the middle of it, that is the outcome there. Bedhead is through to round 4, and he's going to play Wink at Me, and once again there's a lot of potential for it to be a close match, but you would feel that Wink at Me is going to have to take an awful lot more chances if he gets them than what Rivercity managed to do, if he's going to put up any stern opposition to Bedhead, because he's looking good. Now the other matches, we've got one scheduled for a couple of days' time. Or is it tomorrow? This is the 11th, isn't it? I'm keeping losing track of dates here. No, this is the 12th. No, it isn't. It's the 11th. Forget, my head's spinning. It's just bloody the way the dates that they're done in the States. The dates are reversed compared to over here. So tomorrow at 7 AM there's a match scheduled. Magician and Vince, as we'll call them. I won't be able to see that one because, as I said earlier, I'll be at work, and there are no other matches scheduled, although anything could happen. So this looks like it's going to be our last stream match of today, unless something is arranged later on today. If there is, I hope I would be there to see it. Larry's still to arrange his match with Marcellus. They've still got up until Christmas Day to get round 4 completed, and they've got until the 17th, which is another, what, 4 or 5 days away, to get round 3 completed. So there's plenty of time yet for these guys to arrange their matches. And until then, and until the next time, we will say thank you for watching. And sorry about the interruption there with that little power cut, but we hope to see you again soon.